Hi guys, a few people in the messages have asked me to have a little chat about my life in and around boxing. So I thought I'd jump on and do a quick video. Hopefully it won't drag on too long and people won't fall asleep while they're watching it. I started boxing at the age of 5. My dad took me to a local boxing gym. We used to live in Barking in Essex, and I went to Barking Boxing Club. That's where I first started off my journey with boxing. Only as an amateur, obviously, but I was under the guidance of a guy called Terry Davis, great trainer, trained a few world champions in the end, obviously only as an amateur, but they went on to progress to being world champions. Nigel Benn was under his guidance for some time, and so was Colin McMillan. Both of those became world champion. Nigel won WBO and WBC championships, obviously went on and on in his career, and Colin McMillan won the WBO featherweight or super featherweight. I can't remember exactly what one it was, but both were great world champions. Colin went under the nickname of Sweet Sea, and Nigel was obviously the Dark Destroyer. Both of them were great boxers. I boxed in Barking for some time, and I went over to Dagenham Boxing Club under John. Then I went over to Hornchurch and Elm Park, and then ended up finishing my competitive boxing in Barking, back in Barking again. But that was obviously Terry was sort of on the outside of the boxing club at the time. He wasn't really too involved in it. He subsequently passed away from ill health some years later. I used to do a little bit of sparring with Colin. You could never hit him. He was only sort of 9 stone-ish, a lot lighter than me, but just couldn't punch him, couldn't land a punch on him. So he was a very elusive boxer. I went on to train quite regularly with Frank Bruno. I met him when I was about 16 years old and started hanging around. We went to the gym together, bits and bobs. Obviously, he was already a professional fighter at the time. We originally met when he come and done a charity event at my father's pub. My parents were publicans, and he come and opened a charity jar at the pub, which was fairly local to where he was living at the time. Me and Frank just hit it off, and had a really good long friendship. We're still good friends now. I've been on holiday with Frank. We've been all over the world. We stayed in local spas, bits and bobs like that. But we've done a fair bit of sparring, bits and bobs. I'm in a couple of Frank's books, if ever you get the chance to read them. The last couple were Let Me Be Frank, one of his books, and the last book I think he wrote was 60 Years a Fighter. I'm in both those books, obviously with my association with Frank. But yeah, as I say, Frank's career, I went to most of his fights. We used to stay in hotels and bits and bobs, and still very good friends with him. Also done a bit of sparring with Nicky Cook. He was a former British, European, Commonwealth super featherweight champion, and he also won the WBO championship as well. Again, Nicky and Colin McMillan, both very good friends of mine. Don't get to see him so much now because obviously being in Spain, I'm away from the boxing scene. Colin McMillan does a couple of charity events every year to raise money for various, amateur charities and, people that have got disabilities and illnesses and stuff. They're held in around Essex. Some of them with some really known boxers. They come, like Nigel Benn, Steve Collins, all those sort of things. Frank's done one with him. To mention, just a few of the people that has with him. Those evenings are really good. They raise money for good causes. He also does some amateur evenings as well. So if ever you get the chance, he's Colin McMillan. You can always find him on social media. And his events are really fantastic. Quite a few celebrities go there, boxing celebrities and bits and bobs. So it's always a cracking evening. Again, don't get to go there so much now because obviously being out in Spain now, we're sort of out of the loop a little bit, but do try and get over as and when I can. So basically, yeah, that's the crux of it all. I've boxed at an amateur level, never a professional, but boxed with lots of world champions, boxed with lots of great amateur fighters as well. I still love the boxing scene, still watch all the boxing. I try and go to boxing matches whenever I can. Obviously, me and Frank used to go to quite a few when I was in the UK. Used to get the tickets complimentary from the likes of Eddie Hearn and also Frank Warren. We used to sit very, very, very close to the ring. In fact, most of the time I could touch the ring. We had a VIP pass, which was lovely. And, you know, me and Frank used to go up there, either stay up for the night, go out for a meal, bits and bobs like that. And, yeah, still get involved a little bit. I'd like to do a little bit more. I'm still boxing now. Unfortunately, I've just sustained a possible career-ending, well, not career, boxing-ending injury a couple of months ago. I was in the middle of a sparring session and I threw a left hook to the body, which was blocked. So I immediately see the block coming down and changed it to an upper hook, left hook overhead. And unfortunately, I've torn my bicep in half, which is quite painful. I can't lift anything at the moment at all. I'm completely inactive as far as lifting weights or doing anything to do with the gym. I've been in for a MRI scan where I had to go in the tunnel, which was quite a claustrophobic experience recently. And I was in there for 32 minutes just having this scan done on my left arm. I've got an appointment again early part of next month, and hopefully they'll be doing surgery shortly after that. All I can hope is that maybe I can avoid the surgery, but I don't think I can. They have said to me, the trauma specialist has said to me I'm going to need an operation. Whether I can ever go back to boxing again after that, I mean, I am getting on a little bit now anyway, but I try myself to keep myself fit, keep my weight down a little bit. And it also is good for my health, my mental health, if you want to call it that, to go in and have a good old tear up on the bags and you know, a bit of sparring and bits and bobs. It's good for getting out any stresses that you've got in everyday life. Or I recommend really, even no matter what age you are and you know your capabilities, if you can, always get down to the gym, have a little punch up with the old bag. You know, you don't have to go in and competitively spar or anything, but it's just a little way of doing bits and bobs and keeping yourself trim. So what we'll do, I'll just show you a little bit of a recent training session I was doing, give you an idea how intense it still is, and then I'll throw up some pictures with hopefully a little bit of music if I can work out how to get it going. Throw up a few pictures of my time in boxing and the people I've been around and bits and bobs. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed that quick little insight into the boxing. Even at the background there, I'll see if you can see it. Those shorts that appear in the back of there, just there, are Frank Bruno's pro debut shorts, and he wore those shorts for the first 10 fights of his professional career. So yeah, I've got them. He gave them to me many years ago, all framed up, look nice, probably smell a bit to be fair. Anyway, I'll leave you with this little boxing video and some of the photographs of my recent times over boxing. Some of them be with Sophie, some of them be with me, and a few various faces you might recognise. Thanks, guys.